If you're over 60 and you wake up feeling like your back and hips are locked in place, or you dread getting out of a low chair because it takes real effort and sometimes your arms to push yourself up, or your knees ache after just a short walk to the mailbox, or you've had that scary moment where you wobbled and nearly lost your balance reaching for something on a shelf, or simple daily tasks like carrying groceries from the car or playing with the grandkids leave you sore and exhausted for hours afterward. You're not imagining it, and you're definitely not alone. These things happen to millions of people just like you, and they make everyday life feel harder than it should. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the 5 essential exercises you should do every single day after 60 to rebuild the strength, mobility, and balance that naturally slip away with age, so you can move better, hurt less, stay independent longer, and actually enjoy your days instead of managing discomfort. These are simple, proven, low-impact movements you can do at home with minimal or no equipment. They take less than 15 minutes total once you're used to them, and they target the exact muscle groups and patterns that make the biggest difference for people in their 60s, 70s, and beyond. As we age, muscle mass and strength decline through a process called sarcopenia, and research shows it affects anywhere from 10 to 30% of adults over 60, depending on the study and population, with muscle strength dropping noticeably year after year if nothing is done about it. At the same time, joints lose cartilage cushioning, spinal discs thin and dehydrate, posture rounds forward from decades of desk work or sitting, and core and hip muscles weaken, all of which add up to stiffness, pain, slower walking, and poor balance. The CDC reports that more than 1 in 4 adults over 65 falls every year, and falls are the leading cause of injury and a major reason people lose independence. Back pain becomes common because weak glutes and core force the spine to compensate. Knees hurt from unbalanced leg strength, and everyday movements feel risky. The good news is that consistent daily exercise directly counters these changes by rebuilding muscle, lubricating joints, improving coordination, and restoring confidence in your body. Before we get to the exercises, let's quickly cover the biggest mistakes I see people making that actually make these problems worse. The number 1 mistake is doing nothing at all, figuring it's just part of getting older, when in reality, staying active is one of the best ways to slow the decline. Another common one is trying workouts designed for younger people, like high-impact aerobics or heavy weights, which can strain joints and cause injuries instead of helping. Many folks also use poor form, rounding their back during lifts or locking knees during stance, which puts extra stress on the spine and joints. And probably the worst is inconsistency, doing a few sessions one week, then skipping for 2 weeks, because strength and balance gains come from regular stimulus, not occasional effort. Avoid those traps and you'll see real progress. Let's start with exercise number 5, marching in place. This is your gentle entry point for daily movement, and it does more than most people realize. Marching strengthens your hip flexors, improves coordination, gets blood flowing to your legs, and builds endurance for walking without any pounding on joints. Weak hip flexors are a big reason people shuffle their feet or tire quickly on short walks, so doing this every day helps you stride more normally and confidently. To do it correctly, stand tall with feet hip-width apart. Hold on to the back of a sturdy chair or counter for balance if you need it, especially when starting out. Engage your core lightly so your posture stays upright. Then lift one knee toward your chest as high as feels comfortable without leaning backward or hiking your hip. Lower it slowly and lift the other knee. Move at a steady, controlled pace, like you're marching in a parade, not rushing. Breathe normally. Inhale as you lift, exhale as you lower. Aim for 20 to 30 marches per leg, or 60 seconds total if you're doing continuous marching. Do 2 sets with a short rest between. Common mistakes to avoid are leaning back to lift higher, which strains your lower back, or letting your knees cave inward, which stresses the joints. If standing is tough, do it seated by lifting one knee at a time while sitting tall in a chair. This is completely safe for almost everyone, and even if you have mild arthritis, the controlled motion usually feels good rather than aggravating. Stick with it daily, and you'll notice less stiffness in your hips and easier walking within a couple of weeks.
Next up is exercise number 4, Wall push-ups. This is your go-to for upper body strength without putting pressure on your shoulders or wrists the way floor push-ups would. It builds your chest, shoulders, triceps, and the muscles that hold your posture upright so you stand taller, push open heavy doors more easily, and feel less fatigue when carrying things. Poor upper body strength often leads to rounded shoulders and neck pain, so this directly counters that. Stand facing a blank wall, about an arm's length away. Place your hands on the wall at shoulder height and shoulder width apart. Keep your body in a straight line from head to heels, like a plank standing up. Bend your elbows to lower your chest toward the wall in a slow, controlled motion, then push back to the starting position. Don't sag your hips or let them pike up. Exhale as you push away, inhale as you lower. Start with 8 to 12 reps for 2 sets, building to 15 or more as it gets easier. If it's too easy, step farther from the wall. Common mistakes are flaring your elbows way out to the sides, which stresses the shoulders, or letting your head jut forward. Keep your neck neutral and elbows at about 45 degrees from your body. This is extremely joint-friendly and safe for people with shoulder issues as long as there's no pain during the movement. If you feel any discomfort, shorten the range until it feels right. Now, exercise number 3, chair sit-to-stands, or chair squats. This is the king of functional leg exercises because it directly trains the movement you do dozens of times a day, getting up from a chair, toilet, or car seat. It strengthens your quadriceps, glutes, and hamstrings, which are critical for balance, stair climbing, and preventing falls. Weak legs are one of the top reasons people lose independence, so mastering this pays off fast. Place a sturdy chair behind you, one you know won't move when you sit back. Stand with feet hip-width or slightly wider, toes pointing forward or slightly out. Engage your core, keep your chest up, and look straight ahead. Slowly bend your knees and hips to lower yourself until your butt lightly touches the chair seat or hovers just above it. Then push through your heels to stand back up fully, squeezing your glutes at the top. Don't use your hands to push off unless you're really struggling at first. Exhale on the way up, inhale on the way down. Aim for 10 to 15 reps for 2 to 3 sets. Common mistakes are letting your knees collapse inward, rounding your back, or plopping down fast and jerking up. Move slowly and controlled. If balance is an issue, hold the chair arms lightly for support. This is one of the safest ways to build leg power, and most people can do some version of it even with knee or hip concerns. Over time, you'll find you need less arm help and stairs feel much easier. Exercise number 2 is the bird dog, and this one is fantastic for core stability, back strength, and overall balance. A weak core and poor spinal stability are behind a lot of lower back pain and that feeling of wobbling when you turn or reach. The bird dog teaches your core to brace while moving your arms and legs, which translates to better posture and safer daily movements. You'll need to get down on the floor for this, so if you're doing it on a hard surface, grab a folded towel or blanket to cushion your knees. But honestly, an exercise mat makes a huge difference here. It gives your knees padding so you stay comfortable, prevents slipping, and supports your wrists too. A good mat is inexpensive, lasts forever, and makes floor work so much more enjoyable that you're actually likely to do it consistently. Check the link in the description if you're looking for one I recommend. To perform the bird dog, start on all fours with hands under shoulders and knees under hips, back flat like a tabletop. Engage your core so your spine doesn't sag. Slowly extend your right arm straight forward and your left leg straight back at the same time, keeping both level with your torso. Hold for 3 to 5 seconds without letting your hips rotate or your back arch, then return to start and switch sides. Move deliberately, not fast. Do 8 to 12 reps per side for 2 sets. Breathe steadily. Exhale during the hold if that helps. Common mistakes are arching your lower back, dropping your belly toward the floor, or rushing through reps. If full extension is hard, just lift the arm or leg separately at first. This is very safe when done with control, and people with mild back issues often find it relieving rather than painful because it strengthens the stabilizers.
And finally, exercise number 1, the glute bridge. which I save for last because in my experience, this is the single most powerful movement for people over 60. Weak glutes are incredibly common, and they contribute to lower back pain, poor hip stability, knee issues, and that flat-footed walking pattern that makes everything harder. When your glutes are strong, they take pressure off your spine, improve your stride, make standing up easier, and give you a solid foundation for balance. This exercise wakes up the posterior chain and delivers results faster than almost anything else. Lie on your back on the floor, knees bent, feet flat, about hip-width apart, and close enough that you can touch your heels with your fingertips. Rest your arms by your sides. Engage your core lightly, then squeeze your glutes and push through your heels to lift your hips up until your body forms a straight line from knees to shoulders. Avoid arching your lower back. Hold at the top for 2 to 5 seconds, squeezing your glutes hard, then lower slowly under control. Exhale as you lift, inhale as you lower. Start with 10 to 15 reps for 2 to 3 sets. Common mistakes are pushing with your feet instead of squeezing the glutes, letting your knees splay out, or arching the back to get higher. Keep the movement glute-driven. If you have neck discomfort, use a small pillow under your head. This is safe for most people, and even those with back pain often tolerate it well because it strengthens without compression. Do this every day, and you'll likely notice less back tightness, better walking endurance, and easier transitions from sitting to standing within a few weeks. To get the most out of these 5 exercises and speed up your results, do them every day, ideally around the same time so it becomes a habit, like right after breakfast or before dinner. Start with 1 or 2 sets if you're new, then add sets or reps as you get stronger. Always warm up with a minute or 2 of gentle marching in place or arm circles to get blood flowing. Focus on form over quantity. Slow and controlled is better than fast and sloppy. Breathe properly. Never hold your breath. If you feel sharp pain, not just muscle effort, stop and check with your doctor. Pair this routine with a daily walk of 20 to 30 minutes if you can, because walking builds endurance and works perfectly with these strength moves. Pay attention to protein in your meals. Aim for some at every meal to support muscle repair, and stay hydrated because dehydration makes stiffness worse. Get solid sleep, since recovery happens overnight. Track your progress in a simple notebook. Note how many reps you did or how long you held positions, because seeing improvement keeps you motivated. If any exercise feels too hard, modify it, like using more support or shorter holds, and build gradually. Consistency beats perfection every time. Stick with this for 30 days, and most people tell me they feel stronger, move easier, and have less daily ache. You've got this, and your body will thank you for it. If you found this helpful, give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more practical routines, and check the description for that exercise mat link or any other tools I mentioned. Let me know in the comments which exercise you're starting with today. See you in the next one.